Hey everybody, this is Richard Harnetty, your host, and welcome to the Harnetty Rail Journeys Christmas special. As you can see, we're here in my local Lee Green on the very cold December morning before 6 a.m. And today we're on the way down to the Midlands for two things. First off, the reason why we're going off so early in the morning, we're off to the Severn Valley Railway to get 34027 Taw Valley, which is now, since the filming of the Platinum Jubilee show, has now reacquired temporarily his British Railways number and name Taw Valley, but still in Platinum Jubilee purple, which I want to go down to the Severn Valley to make which is my last chance to see Taw Valley in purple before its eventual repaint this winter. And the other reason is, later in the afternoon, we're going to be getting Tyseley's 7029 Clun Castle, working the Polar Express trains between Birmingham Moor Street and Dorridge. We're hoping to get at least 3 runs later this afternoon, and it's going to be top and tailing with a Class 20 diesel locomotive to save all the bother from running round. Anyway, we're just waiting here for the late running 5:58 Northern service that will get us down to Liverpool, and then it's an Avanti Pendolino, which is an 11 car, which I checked on real-time trains this morning. We're going to get that as far as Stafford, and hopefully, if we're very quick, get the 739 London North Western up to Smethwick Galton Bridge, and then we're on the through train to Worcester. Oh, sorry, Kidderminster, I should say, sorry. And then once at Kidderminster, it's then a race from 9:30 between Taw Valley and our bus to Bewdley, which more will be explained as a little bit later on. Anyway, let's wait for our train on this very cold December morning, and I can even see my breath at this time of the day. Look. That's how cold it is. Anyway, let's wait for our train. after a trouble-free journey up from Kidderminster to here, we're not far off our finishing post, ready for Taw Valley, here at the rifle range, just north of the tunnel here. That's the Class 40 Preservation Society's Class 40, 4106. It's just gone into the tunnel on a staff train from Highley straight through to Kidderminster. The main priority for us is Taw Valley. We're not far off our viewing area now, so let's get myself sorted and get my gear straight. Well, after a cracking shot at Taw Valley there in the sun, despite, as you can hear the whistle in the background, is the 2857 Society's 2800 heavy goods engine, 2857, she's on her first northbound run of the day to Arley. We're just currently walking back to Bewdley, where we're going to catch the 125 bus back up to Kidderminster, and then on to our second shout of the day, Tyseley's Great Western Castle, 7029 Clun Castle on the Polar Express. Anyway, let's get a move on. I only got about half an hour to catch that bus. Let's go.
I wasn't originally intending on getting a daytime shot of Windley Manor again, but with it being Christmas, we decided to do this shot of doing a zoom out as the castle approaches, as you'll see in this video clip. After seeing Clun Castle mostly coasting through Solihull, we head to the highlight a week later at Tyzley, with Clun Castle in fine fettle as she heads through the station. So turn up the volume and enjoy the sound of a castle hard at work. We end our review of Clun Castle in darkness at Witney Manor as she accelerates away from Dorridge. As Clun Castle races off into the darkness to Birmingham, we move on to the next morning at the East Lancashire Railway for engines 3 and 4 of our Christmas special, here on the Irwell Vale area, as we first see of engine 3 and 4, L&WR Webb Coal Tank 1054, visiting from the Keighley and West Valley Railway. The fourth engine we see in the Christmas special is the railway's resident as-built West Country Bulleid Pacific 34092 City of Wells, which she was entering her last Christmas in service before she was withdrawn from service for overhaul.
now here at Irwell Vale on the East Lancashire Railway after I got the coal tank. Excuse me, my apologies. As I said, we're here at Irwell Vale on the East Lancashire Railway after we got 2 cracker shots this morning, just a little bit further north from here, of the Webb coal tank, 1054, and the Resident Bulleid Pacific, 34092 City of Wells. We're just waiting here for the Webb coal tank to arrive, and then we're going to press onwards elsewhere. We've already got City of Wells here on a few occasions, so we're happy with the previous shots that I've got. Anyway, let's wait here for the coal tank now.
Our final views of 1054 and 34092 City Wells is just south of Townsend Fold signal box, to round off a perfect weekend of seeing 4 steam locomotives in one weekend of our Christmas special.
Right, I know it's late to do the summary, but at least I got the chance now. Right, full summary for the Christmas special here from Harnetty Rail Journeys. Saturday, it was a very early morning start from our local in Lee Green and St Helens. And we went down on the Northern service, and then we got on to the Avanti West Coast from Liverpool to Stafford via Crewe. We were running into trouble on the way into Crewe, but then when we got into Crewe, one of the passengers was taken ill and an ambulance was called, resulting in a 15-minute delay. But thankfully though, the passenger who was taken ill, he was responding and he was talking, which is magnificent news. And I'd like to wish the individual who was taken ill a full and speedy recovery. So we got ourselves into Stafford. We did miss my planned connection straight through to Smemby Golden Bridge from Stafford by over 20 minutes because of the delay. So we end up waiting for the 8 o'clock cross-country service, which came from Manchester. We got that as far as Wolverhampton. And then there was the 8:20 West Midlands Railway service to get us to Smemby Golden Bridge, which we made to Smemby Golden Bridge with about 8 minutes to spare for the 8:48 West Midlands Railway service to Worcester Foregate Street, although we got off Kidderminster for that one. And there we got on a bus to Bewdley and then off to our line side location to get our first of 4 steam locomotives of this Christmas special. Phil Swallow's rebuilt West Country Pacific Taw Valley 34027, which since the last time we got Taw Valley at Bewdley, although it wasn't in steam at the time, the engine was facing south, and finally 2 years in the making I finally got Taw Valley from the rifle range heading south towards Kidderminster while the engine is facing south. And of course, since we got Taw Valley, still in Platinum Jubilee livery, the engine had temporarily reacquired his British Railways number 34027 and its name temporarily for a bit with the crest as well. I'll tell you what though, despite the exhaust was blowing on my side, the sun was out magnificently, so it was really good call to go and get Taw Valley. It was supposed to have done on December the 10th, but fears of the weather at the time, and there was reports of snow from the Met Office at the time. So I thought, you know what, let's get this over and done with. And I tell you, the sound of that exhaust beat and the cylinder beat, fantastic. I really enjoyed it. With 9 coaches on, 8 of them fully Great Western chocolate and cream stock, apart from one BR Mark 1 BSK maroon livery coach. Magnificent. So we went back into Bewdley on foot so we can get the bus direct back to Kidderminster railway station, where we made it for the 1 o'clock West Midlands Railway service, where we're going to get Tyzley's Locomotive Works flagship locomotive of vintage trains, 7029 Clun Castle. So we went straight to Witney Manor. I was thinking originally about getting a daytime shot, but then I remembered in 2019 during Clun Castle's loaded test run, I had a magnificent shot of her in the fading light at the end of February of that year, which actually I'll show you a clip of what I mean of Clun Castle during her loaded test run from Stratford-upon-Avon to Tyseley. fantastic that was. So we opted to do Solihull instead, which was a brand new station for me. And we got the Class 20189, which she was top and tailing with Clun Castle to do vintage trains as the Polar Express from Birmingham Moor Street to Dorridge via Solihull. We got the Class 20 thrashing through, with the castle doing nothing, but then when we got the castle it did start to rain, although only the odd light drop and the odd drop on the lens as I was zooming out when Clun Castle came through. Disappointing that the driver shut the regulator down, but I got a nice exhaust and a whistle out of it, so I was happy with that. And then we followed her to Birmingham Moor Street, where we can get some shots of her at close quarters while she was standing in the station. And then we opted to do Witney Manor after all, but get a nighttime shot. And I'll tell you what though, hearing Clun Castle's 4-cylinder beat as she accelerated away from Dorridge, I got a whistle again out of it, which was fantastic. I really enjoyed that nighttime shot at Clun Castle. And then we went back to Birmingham, got something to eat, and then we were planning on seeing Clun Castle coming into the station, but then we found out she was running late because a late running train from London Marylebone, which is one of the local Class 68 trains. So I decided to abandon it, and then literally as I got back to Birmingham New Street for my planned through train back home to Liverpool, cancelled. Yes, the real reason why my through train home from Birmingham to Liverpool, the 1936, was cancelled because there was no driver to cover it. And I ended up had to make 2 train changes on that night. I thought I missed the cross-country service that was bound for Manchester, but fortunately it was running late and I didn't miss it. So I quickly got on that as far as Stafford, although I did have an hour wait in Stafford for the through Avanti West Coast service from Euston, which was 25 minutes late coming into Liverpool that night. But I still had plenty of time to catch the 10:30 Northern Rail service to Manchester, although we got off from the local. Although the train from Manchester Piccadilly was also cancelled, that was originally going to the airport because there was no driver to cover it. But fortunately though, since those rail journeys were made, the delay repay compensation has been sent. We're just waiting for confirmation now. So it was 11:30 I got home that night. I went straight to bed, and then the next day went off to the East Lancs Railway to get engines 3 and 4 of my weekend to the East Lancashire Railway for their Santa specials. As built, my apologies, of 34092 City of Wells, the Spam Can, or nicknamed the Volcano, which she was entering her last Christmas in service. Just like, I forgot to mention, 34027 Taw Valley was also entering his last Christmas in service before they were drawn for their overhauls. Although Taw Valley is due to be redrawn in the autumn of 2023, and City of Wells is due to be redrawn on the 2nd of January 2023, Bank Holiday Monday. And then the 4th locomotive we got, it was still visiting us from the Keighley and West Valley Railway, the Bahamas Locomotive Society's Webb Coal Tank 1054, who the society are looking after the engine on behalf of the National Trust. Working the Santa specials from Bury to Rawtenstall and back, which the 2 steam locos were top and tailing with the diesel locomotives. For City of Wells, she had ScotRail livery Class 47, 47765, and the coal tank she had Class 50, 50015, 50015, shall we say. Yeah, it was a magnificent day chasing the 2 engines round the Irwell Vale area, between Irwell Vale and Rawtenstall. And then in the last bit of daylight, perfect getting the coal tank. And then funny thing was, I started walking back. I made to the crossing just before the station, just enough time to see the 50 departing with the 1612 departure for Bury. And then I made it back for the through bus from Burnley to Manchester. And then as soon as I got back into Victoria, just like on Saturday night, cancelled. The 1802 Transpennine Express was cancelled because there was no driver to cover it. So I ended up going through to Piccadilly for the through Northern service from Wilmslow back home. And that ended my Harnetty Rail Journey Christmas special. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching the Harnetty Rail Christmas Journey. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe and turn on the notifications so you'll be right up to date when the next Harnetty Rail Journey goes live and when the next non-Harnetty Rail Journey goes live. We have got one more video to upload, which is on hopefully the 29th of December, which is our annual end of season review of mainline steam during 2022. Of course, if you want to know, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you'll be right up to date. Well, that's it for Harnetty Rail Journeys for 2022. There are more programmes coming up during the course of 2023, which is yet to be published. I hope you'll be enjoying watching them as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and take care. And once again, have a very, very happy Christmas. So from me of Harnetty Railways, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So until 2023, goodbye.